Which division is going to be the strongest in 2023?
Where are you at with the AFC East? The Buffaloes won this division the last 3 years.
I honestly don't even want to start going down that road. It's absolutely ridiculous top to bottom.
With the upcoming NFL season drawing closer, it's time for our 2023 rankings of all 8 NFL divisions. Number 8, NFC South. The reigning division champions finished with a losing record of 8-9 last year. If it weren't for Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have contended for the first overall pick. Well, guess what? Brady is now retired, and a team that goes from the GOAT at QB to Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask is sure to regress by several wins. Don't be shocked if the back-to-back NFC South champs are the division chumps this year.
It's not how I drew my career up by any means. If I was to tell you how it would go based on the plan, I wouldn't have said that I put on 3 different uniforms in the year 2022, but that's how it happens.
The Atlanta Falcons somehow won 7 games last year with Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder as their QBs. Good on the front office for adding the likes of Jesse Bates, Bud Dupree, and Calais Campbell to bolster an anemic defense, but it's gonna come down to how Ridder and or Taylor Heineke perform. Well, adding Bijan Robinson to an offensive arsenal with Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London will certainly make life easier. Arthur Smith is a vastly underrated coach too. Not to mention they have football's easiest strength of schedule for 2023. We don't expect the Carolina Panthers to be much better, if at all, than the 2022 squad. I mean, this is a rebuilding year with the new QB and first overall pick Bryce Young. A new look DJ Moorless offense and new head coach in Frank Reich. Yeah, we'll say this much. Carolina won't be the yawn fest of a team to watch unlike the last 4 years. The New Orleans Saints are unquestionably the team to beat in this division. After winning 7 games with the Jameis Winston/Andy Dalton tandem last year, they are sure to push for double-digit wins with Derek Carr now taking over the offense. They have a top 10 defense and have supplied Carr with a plethora of weapons. Throw in football's second easiest strength of schedule, and they truly have the makings to be a sneaky Super Bowl contender this year. Number 7, AFC South. Like the NFC South, the AFC South is going to be limited in terms of entertaining games and high-quality play. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who won the division with a 9-8 record last year, look ready to contend for a Super Bowl in year 2 with the Trevor Lawrence-Doug Peterson pairing. Having Calvin Ridley join an offense that already has Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram should be a terrifying thought for the rest of the NFL. After Jacksonville, the depth in the division, if you will, starts to look a lot worse. The Tennessee Titans are going to rely on 3 injury-prone and aging veterans in Ryan Tannehill, DeAndre Hopkins, and Derrick Henry to carry the offense. I mean, if they all stay healthy and play up to their usual standards, maybe the Titans squeeze out 9 to 10 wins. But we're not sure that's enough to claim a playoff spot in the gauntlet that is the AFC. The Indianapolis Colts and Houston Texans are rebuilding with new head coaches and rookie quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud will be fun to watch, even if they struggle early. But you're looking at 2 clubs who would be lucky to reach 5 wins this year. Honestly, it'd be a shock if the Jaguars didn't win the division. And it would be an even bigger shock if 2 clubs in the division finished above 500. Number 6, NFC North. This is the toughest division to predict for 2023. You have 4 teams who could all surprise and reach double-digit wins. You also have 4 teams who could crumble big time and find themselves picking in the top 10 next year. The Minnesota Vikings are the reigning division champs, having won 13 games last year. But having won a record 11 one-score games, the law of averages state that they'll get unluckier and regress in the one-score contest department. Also, losing Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Patrick Peterson, and Zadarius Smith does not exactly inspire confidence that this club will threaten for 13 wins again. As great as Justin Jefferson is, this team's ceiling feels like 10 wins for 2023. The Green Bay Packers have a great mix of young and veteran talents. But really, it all comes down to Jordan Love. Is he the real deal and ready to succeed Aaron Rodgers? Does he need a year or 2 more to develop? Or is he simply not the guy at all? We can see Green Bay surprising with 10 to 12 wins in a wide-open division, but we can also see them just going 5-12. The Chicago Bears made some great moves this offseason. I mean, they added DJ Moore, Deontay Foreman, and promising O-line prospect Darnell Wright to the offense. The front 7 was beefed up by the signings of Tremaine Edmonds, DeMarcus Walker, TJ Edwards, and Yannick Ngakoue. So does Justin Fields break out with his new set of toys? Do the Bears make a giant leap on D after finishing last in scoring a year ago? Again, it could go either way. The Detroit Lions shocked everyone by winning 9 games a year ago. Hard not to be excited about the wealth of moves GM Brad Holmes made on defense, specifically Emmanuel Mosley, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Cam Sutton. Not having Jamison Williams for the first 6 games due to suspension is concerning. Was 2022 the sign that Jared Goff is back to his Pro Bowl form, or was it just a mirage? Also, it is the Lions. They could just easily choke and finish with another losing season despite the increased expectations for 2023. The NFC North is going to be the division of chaos. And we're here for it. Number 5, NFC West. This division has it all. A true Super Bowl contender, a playoff contender, and a Super Bowl sleeper, a true wild card and great unknown, and a team that may as well start scouting the top quarterbacks for the 2024 draft class. Nothing more really needs to be said about the San Francisco 49ers that hasn't already been said. They've made 3 of the last 4 NFC Championship games and were potentially a non-Brock Purdy away from playing in their 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years. The 49ers had football's #1 D a year ago and added ex-Eagles star defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Trent Williams will make life easy for Purdy, Trey Lance, or Sam Darnold. Whoever actually ends up starting at QB here in 2023. The Seattle Seahawks surprised with 9 wins last season. They added Bobby Wagner, Draymond Jones, and rookies Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba to an already loaded roster. As long as Geno Smith shows that last year was no fluke, the Seahawks are going to be a true title contender. The Los Angeles Rams traded Jalen Ramsey, but are still hoping to remain in contention with Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald. Can this top-heavy roster rebound after a forgettable Super Bowl defense season? We hate to bet against a Sean McVay team, but this roster is very limited with talent and game changers. With J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, Byron Murphy, Zach Allen, and DeAndre Hopkins gone, a hapless Arizona team is the favorite to finish with football's worst record next year. Plus, Kyler Murray will miss time recovering from surgery on his torn ACL. Bottom line, Arizona should be happy if they somehow top 4 wins this year. Number 4, AFC West. Having won the division every year since 2016, the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs remain the class of the NFL. Need we say more about the Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid-led tandem? The Los Angeles Chargers will be a playoff contender again with superstar QB Justin Herbert. We just refuse to trust them in big games. As evidenced by the blowing of a 27-0 lead against Jacksonville in the wildcard round. They can make some noise in the AFC, but you just know that the Chargers will somehow charger it up. So, buy into them at your own risk. The Denver Broncos were arguably football's biggest disappointment a year ago, but surely Russell Wilson can only improve with Sean Payton taking over as head coach. Right? Come on, right? Look, 2 future Hall of Famers ought to do something right in the Mile High City, but even if they do, is that going to be enough to contend for a playoff berth in the AFC? I don't know. A lot's going to have to go right. Or maybe it's easier to say a lot has to go wrong for the other teams. The Las Vegas Raiders won 6 games last year, and they'd be lucky to top that number in 2023. Jimmy Garoppolo can't stay healthy, and even when he is on the field, it's quite the downgrade from Derek Carr. The defense has been a disaster for years, and rookie Tyree Wilson is not going to fix that on his own. Number 3, NFC East. The NFC East featured 3 playoff teams a year ago. The 4th place finisher, the Washington Commanders, still went 8-1. So with that, it's time to say goodbye to the NFC least jokes. The reigning NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles are as deep as last year's squad, and they are the co-NFC team to beat. The Dallas Cowboys cannot be trusted to go on a Super Bowl run, but hey, back-to-back 12-win seasons is no joke. The arrivals of Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks definitely makes this club scarier. The talent is it's always there. But will they actually rise to the occasion in the big moments for once? The New York Giants ended a 6-year playoff drought and stunned Minnesota in the wildcard round. Daniel Jones has 3 new pass-catching weapons in Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, and Jalen Hyatt. If he can take another step forward, and if Saquon Barkley stays healthy again, the Brian Dable-led Giants could very well go on a deep run. Ron Rivera deserves credit for squeezing out 22 wins over 3 seasons without a steady quarterback in Washington. I'm not sure what Sam Howell is capable of, but the Commanders boast a top 10 defense and some nice weapons from Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson, and Jahan Dotson. They will certainly flirt with a winning record and could sneak back into the postseason. Number 2, AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengals have a top 3 QB in Joe Burrow, plus the NFL's best receiving core. Throw in top 10 defense and the fact that they've reached back-to-back AFC title games, and we have no doubt they will be a bona fide Super Bowl contender in 2023, and probably for many years to come. The Baltimore Ravens snuck into the playoffs playoffs despite missing Lamar Jackson for 5 games. His 45-16-0 record as a starter kind of speaks for itself. They will push for a championship if he is healthy. Big keyword though. If. The Pittsburgh Steelers won 9 games despite uneven play from Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky at QB. If Pickett can just take a step forward, then these guys will be a dark horse championship contender. George Pickens, Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, and Pat Freiermuth headline a scary offensive arsenal. And that defense will be a top 5 to 10 group once again. Now, love or hate Deshaun Watson, he can only improve after a sluggish 6-game performance after serving an 11-game suspension. The Browns are loaded with playmakers, young and veterans, on both sides of the ball. So they could totally make some noise in January. Number 1, AFC East. This is the most excited we've been about one division in a single season since the AFC West a year ago. We know the division wasn't as thrilling as many expected, but the AFC East will not disappoint this year. As usual, Josh Allen's Buffalo Bills are in the upper echelon of Super Bowl contenders. They have a top 5 D every year, and the annual MVP contender will once again have his team in the running for football's ultimate prize. The Miami Dolphins would have likely upset Buffalo in the wildcard round if Tua Tagovailoa was healthy. It's a shame that 3 head-related injuries cut his 2022 season short. Tua had the NFL's best QB rating and the most yards per completion. Hopefully, Tua can just stay healthy all year long. His Dolphins are going to be a contender. The New York Jets won 7 games without Aaron Rodgers last year. Well, now they have Aaron Rodgers, which means they're going to be a bona fide Super Bowl contender. I don't think really anything else needs to be said. The New England Patriots are always going to have a chance with Bill Belichick. They're going to field a top 5 defense as usual, and Mac Jones stands to improve with new offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. And of course, his new look offense, which added Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Gesicki, and Ezekiel Elliott. All 4 of these teams could realistically win the Super Bowl in 2023. But how would you rank all 8 NFL divisions heading into the 2023 season? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.